Hi guys, over the past 2 months I was working on this spread and I finally got it absolutely right and it's really functioning unbelievably well. This is for the people who basically want to find out if there is a possibility of reunion and if they should actually go with their exes, what is going on in their heads, if this is a wise idea, etc., etc., etc. It kind of like will describe sort of the past situation that brought you to this basically question what is currently going on in their heads, in your heads, and also near and far future. So let me introduce you the cards that actually I picked. This took a while to find the right combination. So I'm calling the spread Cat Tarot Nose Spread. So you can only see it here. So the first actually card that I have is the Magician. The reason that I picked this one first, one is a number one in numerology. And when you have number one, this is basically beginning. Also, the Magician is a card of sort of starting on a new journey, just to see if you have all the tools available to go in this new relationship and if that can create this chemistry. And also because it's a number one, what are the thoughts on a new beginning? The second card I took here is a Temperance reversed. And it's purposely reversed because here it means merging two opposites, but here it means two opposites or two different kind of entities are not merged, which is basically what is bringing you to this question because you really want to know why things didn't work out and what went wrong. Maybe that was not communicated to you, maybe you didn't communicate it, maybe you didn't even recognize it in you, but this is what went wrong. So this is a significator for the ladies. This is, and I took Queen of Wands. Please don't go into this horoscope signs. Frankly, I'm so tired of reading horoscope signs in cards because like every card is like archetype, and this is like the sexy archetype that is like charging, and she wants her man, she wants her mate. This doesn't have to be necessarily a woman. So either you're man or female, this is basically who you are, and the other person is going to represent your partner. For the guys, it's going to be the awkward kind of things around, but also keep in mind, because I'm getting here energies not only for all of you who are actually listening to this, the subscribers that I'm connecting, but I'm also getting the energy of that one more person and all these exes that you're bringing to the table. So I need to kind of like find it more generic, so this can be switched. So you have to figure out if this person is more this or this, which one is you. Then we have Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is a communication cards and things being up in the air. Basically, simply I want to see over this timeline how the communication went and if that was the problem. Then we have another significator of that person. So I said like that they're interchangeable. You have to find out if that is like the guy you're inquiring about or if this is you. And again, I took a King of Wands, again, charisma, passion, because that's what we get attracted to. And obviously, if we are considering reunion or we are still thinking about somebody in the past, this is what is holding us basically captive in our thoughts. Then we have a card of Judgment. So this is card very difficult for many of people to understand. So we kind of like see the angel coming trumpeting, basically freedom, and everybody's kind of raising from the dead. So obviously this is talking about if our life was well lived, if we learned the lessons and what lessons we had to learn. So in this particular case is how that other party sees the past and sees basically how they contributed to the things that happened and what was going on in their head, right? Sometimes you get really surprised when you kind of feel you are the wrong one, and then you find out from them they feel they're the wrong one. And lastly, I took a Four of Wands, which kind of can be reunion, can be celebration, but keep in mind that many people are talking about this card as a marriage, which also can be, but in this particular case, significator here is what are the thoughts of reunion? Is reunion in the store, and even if it's wise? So basically, we have this 7 cards, which is kind of like really spiritual number. Also, if you look the numbers, like 1 plus 14 is like 15, and 8, 23, 53, and 4, 57, it is 12, it's 3, it's like something with this yellow. 3 is connected to this yellow, and as you see, I kind of picked the yellows because this is kind of uplifting sun color, and I wanted to see what basically stands behind it. So this is the intro, guys, and so what I'm considering right now, every month to have that as well, or at the very least give it a try for Venus retrograde and see how it goes sign by sign. Okay, so this is enough for the intro, so let's start with reading. I just want to add that this spread is available for private reading, and in that case, like you really know who are the significators, we are going to assign to significators their birth date and their names, and we are going to be able to move forward with extremely specific energy. So for those of you who are wondering if the reunion is going to happen, or what you have to look for, what are the best words to use, etc. This is a great spread. And definitely you can ask when you're ordering that to be included in your reading or to be the feature of your reading, because then I can do it with tarot cards and I can do with Versibila cards, and we can go a few crosses just to make sure that we got all these finesses right. And again, for private reading, check my website, cattarot.ca, and I'm taking bookings right now. You have chunks of 20, 40, or 60 minutes, and I'm looking forward to actually hearing back from you. For now, let me start doing the sample readings so that way you can actually see what to expect. Thanks. Love you guys. Hi, Cancer, your turn. I have reshuffled, so we don't waste time on this, so let's go right into it. So let's see, the first line is basically the past. So let's see about these tools. The Magician is defining the tools that were needed for this relationship. So let's see the tools. Well, you guys need to kind of look at each other from a different perspective. And also you may have felt that you were bound, not to each other, but sort of like to the things that you have previously learned in your life. Maybe you were stuck in your ways and you were forced to think of things differently. And in fact, it kind of expanded you, because you see this fellow here, he has this aura of the thought and aura of the light, that aha moment coming through, but still didn't put that in motion. So why things fell apart, remember what they said, like what basically happened, this alchemy didn't happen here, or it is not. If you're still in a relationship and back and forth, why is this not happening? Well, there is lack of commitment here. So, right, let's see, there are 3 people here negotiating. This can also be a third person, or lack of commitment. So that kind of like would unglue the situation, that's for sure. So how your partner sees you. Your partner sees you as somebody who is charging forward, somebody who wants to get ahead. So could it mean that you were willing to get ahead and get commitment, and he wasn't, or she wasn't, your partner? So let's see. The communication in the past was, yeah, it was kind of like very one-sided. And again, I have the 3 people. Was there a 3-party kind of situation here? It almost started to appear this way. So you see, this is not even a couple walking away. They're like all looking, like looks like out of the 3 people, everybody walked away. One person is giggling and laughing, not realizing in love you just never win. Did it come out upright or reversed? I have to stop to just check to make sure. It was upright, so this is the way it was. So basically the person here, somebody here, or the communication here was about somebody who felt they rightfully can make this decision and without really taking account how the other person feels. So let's see how your partner or he feels. And there it is. It's basically a refusal to understand it's over. So this is still lingering in the past, right? So this is a transformation. You know, when you die, it's the ultimate card of restarting, rebuilding. But here, you're refusing to die. You know, it's like the person who you know it will die, but it's just like not dying. So your partner is like really very much into that. So I'm wondering if it was you who either the elements are not there for you to commit, could be the timing, because on one hand he sees you as somebody who wants to get ahead, but at the same time, the situation is not resolved here. Or it could be because the victory really was not there. So we'll find out when the other cards open up. So the Judgment. So let's see, when all the chips fell down, how you really felt and what was the lesson about this relationship there. So it was not give and take, right? This is the card of balance. Look, you're giving somebody support, so they'll be able to kind of raise up. So in a relationship, that's what we need, because something's going to be up, something's going to go down. But again, I see three people here, and three people are definitely three people in this way, and it's also six, and the six is like a reunion, but this is in verse 6, and next to death. So the breakup happened possibly because somebody wanted to have their own way, or possibly it was a third person and a lack of commitment. And yeah, so the last card was reunion, and this is just confirmation of everything. It was a third person. It was a third person. It's like no doubt in my head anymore about that. So even though he sees you as somebody who wanted to charge forward, at the same time he did see you as somebody who he's not going to, or maybe he didn't communicate to this third person, and it's also a possibility. But let's see what is happening in the present. What is this toolbox having? Well, toolbox is nice. You're coming back to being yourself. You're romantic, or there is ability between two of you to actually have this love conversation. How about the things that still need to be worked on to glue together? Well, decision is still not being made, right? They're still measuring the fact, and this is coming underneath this lack of commitment. So there is still no commitment here. This is still an issue that needs to be bridged. So how he sees you in the present. He sees you as somebody who did get wounded. Obviously, there is a warrior, but also somebody who is willing to continue. Kind of like, this is through thick and thin kind of a thing. It's a person who actually wants to get ahead, but he also wants to know, or she wants to know, well, how much longer is it left? And number 9 means you're close to calling it quits. So he sees you, maybe you're like at the end of your kind of like willingness, at the end of your kind of like wishes to go further. So communications, well, look, you have two people that for some reason are not entering this church, which is so uplifting, yellow, and so inviting, right? But it's not only they're like out in the cold, proverbially being left in the cold, but one is injured, and on top of being in a bad situation, one is better off than the other one. So it's almost comparison between the two, right? Here it's even worse, I would say. Because now that window is now becoming a door. So it's going to be really, really simple to basically come in. But now it's almost like even the friendship is gone. Even what basically existed is like so overshadowed. It's so basically lost. And now you have like 2 5s basically in a row in a communication. That means like it's very shaky, it's very unstable. Like that instability is like really the order of the day. Like, I mean, that kind of like was across. And of course, if there was a third party, like that would make everybody feel uneasy. And frankly, I don't know if there is a way for anybody to recover from it, because that's a major violation of trust. And this also can mean actually choice. If he sees you as actually, now when the more cards are coming out, you see tarot is like that, then all these details are starting to make sense. So again, it's a choice between the two here, right? And so he sees you, so either you're the one making the choice, or he sees you that he has to make a choice between you and somebody else. So there is a choice, and there is a pain of making that choice. So let's see how he sees himself at present. Well, he is holding some kind of secrets, and there is this intuitive powers and understanding, and trying to understand that there are other people that has to be taken in account, and not only basically your own needs. And so this whole transformation or lack of transformation is making your partner kind of go a little bit deeper. So that's actually a good thing. Kind of what is that you did. So if your partner was a cheater, then this death means that he lost you. And he lost you with you walking away crying and telling him, I'm not going to tolerate this, I'm leaving, and I don't care if I'm going to be sad if I lost you as a friend, because you were never my friend. Now it's getting to him what he lost. Right back then he felt like a victor. It was not a biggie, because he felt, well, all these women or all these people are coming to him, and now when he realized what he lost, it's not the same things, and that's why it's so painful, right? So the lessons at present are, yeah, look, you have a 2 again. Decision has to be made. Whose world is it? Are you going to build your own world, or going to let this world go away? So even here, decision is not the same. This person is looking away, looking back toward the decision. But here, just like in this card, looks like decision is elsewhere. It's not in between the 2 of you. And reunion. No reunion. It's a lot of sadness, and this sadness is continuing. Only thing is, like here, you're going from in the past, I cannot believe that happened. I cannot believe you would do that to me. Why would you do that to me? It felt like that harsh, sharp pain right to your heart, that you would not be able to breathe. And now this pain is becoming more grounded and sad. Now it's like kind of gnawing pain that is kind of like penetrating into everything. You don't have enthusiasm to eat. You don't have anything. However, the good news about this is up in the air. Look, it's like you cannot ground yourself. You're standing with 2 feet on the ground. And here it's telling you, you have to, even though you're in pain, realize that even in front of you and behind you, there are other options. This is like a possibility of a castle, but you have to work on it, because actually, you see here, there is a bridge to it, so you have to actually find a way to it. Or, even in this situation, there's still some redeeming qualities. So let's go for one more line. So let's see what is in a month from now. Toolbox. Again, it went from this communicating, right? So it looks like you're really trying to give it a second wind in the beginning, at present, but it's just like there is not enough guts to go for it. So the future is like, you're resigning yourself, like, that this is kind of wasted emotion, wasted effort. You guys are so emotional, you're so giving, and you're not feeling that you're really giving this to the right person. And the whole thing is sinking in that really shouldn't happen to you. So, things that went wrong. Yeah. See, this is meaning establishing boundaries. The boundaries were not established. Somebody walked over, somebody did maybe bad things to somebody. This is not right. No relationship can recover from that. You might feel like a victor, even let's say he chooses you or she chooses you. That's not a real victory, because ultimately it's going to be just a disaster. And you're going to even feel bad for the other person, because this is not supposed to be about winning. It's supposed to be about choosing the right person for you. So how he sees you in the future. He does see you as somebody who is able and willing to work at it. Communication, yeah. So you're grounding. So this is, you're becoming more grounded. You're becoming less emotional, and you're becoming grounded. And even here, even though that's a bad grounded, kind of getting realization that this is not working out, because you had a 5 here, you had a 5 here, you had a 5 here. Remember, I mentioned those 5, very unstable energy. So now we have this Knight of Pentacles, which, as you see, it's a yellow card, so it's like uplifting. It's a building something. It's basically talks about building life. So that's a communication that will take place. It's about a month from now. So I would say this is a door opening to some possibility of getting together. So how he sees himself in a month from now? Well, he's not sure again what he wants, right? Look, it's still 3 down here, and still he wants something else. So be very, very cognizant of this, that this guy, maybe even here, doesn't know what he wants, and maybe it's him not knowing how to approach love relationship properly. You guys, you need to be like, I mean, you're very romantic. You need kind of like your style. So how basically it's going to look like in a month time from now, like about this whole ordeal you've been through with this person. Yeah, again, this is like a higher level of Three of Pentacles. It's a lack of commitment. This is absolutely a lacking commitment. You see how we had those twos as a kind of free kind of like recurring kind of theme. You had a two here, you had two here, and then you had five. So two are just trying to build things, but also kind of making a choice. And here it looks like somebody maybe was making a choice in the present, or like redefining the choice as their own world, but that brought pain, and because the choice meant doing some painful things. And here this is repeating, look, for not knowing what you want to, well, I'm not committing. I'm absolutely not committing. So whoever was the person in the past who didn't want the commitment, or who had this third party, this person is still doing the same thing. This person is it looks like it's him or your partner not giving up and not knowing what they want. So reunion, no. Even if you do, it's not going to bring you happiness. It's the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So guys, I don't want to go next line here. This person is not good for you. Absolutely not good. That's not your style. It would never make you happy. It doesn't look like it was respectful. It doesn't look like that your boundaries were taken in consideration. Somebody were just doing very selfishly what they want, and they even laughed about it. And that's just not right. Absolutely not right. So Cancer, I'm sorry that I'm the bearer of the bad news, but the good news is that you have these tools. You obviously have tools that you're willing to build it and ground yourself, and you're able to get there. So you're not in tremendous pain. You are going to be for a little while, but this is going away. And this is going away within the spirit of Venus retrograde. It's going to bring these issues to the surface, and you're going to see this person for who he or she was, in fact, a loser, if you want, like the person who will leave you in the cold. So that's not a person you want in a partner. You want somebody who will be there for you when you're going through hard times, not the other way around. Not who will add issues to your life that will actually create new hard times. So Cancer, sorry about it, but guess what? I do love you. And tonight there is this like live reading at 10 Eastern Standard Time. So I'll see you then. Bye.